kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count.
All right, Coach. Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Throwing on first down. King. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. So they get the completion. That's good, but Charles, probably not good to get hit on the first play of the game.
No coaching staff ever wants their quarterback hit on any passing play, especially to start the game. What you're hoping is you have one of those tough guys back there, because sometimes when they get hit early, gets the juices flowing, and they get right into the game.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's King to throw on second down. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go. Get set. Touchdown. Keep it.
On first down, King. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Let's go, baby. Turn it over. Get that ball. Get that ball. Shit.
On second down, here's Mixon. Oh, able to avoid him. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator. Here it goes, here it goes. Set, go.
First down, Vic. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
From the 21, it's second and 10.
Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel. Ready, go.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Third and short yardage, Vic. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Back to Mixon on first down. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 27, Vic got a man over the middle, and it's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. From the shotgun is Vic, going for the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
To throw is King. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
58, come on. Get that quarterback at all costs. And 58 is the money. 58 is the money. Here we go, here we go. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Check tight end, check tight. Check tight. 58's the Mike, 58. Hold. There we go.
Looking to throw. King. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's got a first-quarter touchdown grab there.
58, come on the ball.
A 1st down throw coming for Vic. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Vic will look to throw on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
A gain of 4. 58, right over there. Mike, 58.
King to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Back to throw. King. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Now Joe Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now King on 1st down. He gets this one to Johnson. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
King now on 1st and 10. And Diggs has it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On the double. 51. No chance.
They'll give it to Mixon. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Second and 4. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Throwing on second and 3. Vick going down the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Recon, 132 fight. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. Come on. Go! Stay in open. Bravo! Go!
Now on second and 16. Vick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. He finds his running back, Mixon. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check Mike.
Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. From 8 yards out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. 1st down, the run with Lynch. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Vick. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They will indeed go for it. Vick. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. That's going to be caught by Kirk. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Let's go. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. You got to get the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Jordan Evans coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. It's on.
After the sack on first down, Vick, he'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Third and long for Vick. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 90, Wolf.
They'll run with Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a second and goal. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Alpha. Watch the run. And go.
There's Vick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off with great anticipation. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
2nd and 2. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw is King on 3rd and 2. And an alley to run. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. On first down, Mixon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check pass. Check pass.
They'll run here with Mixon. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun to give to Mixon. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Check 26, check 26.
King throwing on 3rd and long. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 4th down, so Zach Taylor sends out the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. It will give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Let's go.
A 2nd down throw for Vic. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going to launch this thing way down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. It'll be Vic once more. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
Mike 29. Danny. 29.
On 4th down, Vic. He sets to fire deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Back to throw. King. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play there. Second down. Vic back around his own goal line. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
This one hauled in by Sample. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Now, Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Now King operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Looking to throw. King. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Vic now from the 50. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Get in the weight room. 58, right over there. Right up. Mike, 58, right there. Yeah. You don't want no. 58 for Mike. Go.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now Vick on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Bengals will get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Play action now. Vick. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. Now here's Vick. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gonzalez. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll throw again. Here's Vick. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Back to throw. King, and able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Cincinnati, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.